Welcome back to the tutorial, to a video for the tutorial series for how to create a gaming montage with Wondershare Filmora X. And today, we will be, I feel like I'm so formal. Not the biggest fan of it. I'm not a very formal person. But, today I'm going to be going over, the introduction to your montage. So we will get started with editing today. And also, I will go over media, and the most important part will be media and audio, but I'll also go over the introduction to your montage and starting it off. Alright, so I currently have a little bit of an introduction to my montage, and we're just going to start from here and work our way through kind of how to get to the ending point of this clip right here. Now, before we even get started with any editing, though, I want to just go over like the first step of making a montage, which is actually just to get clips. And in my case, I have a bunch of Bed Wars clips, and a couple of Bed Wars cinematics, and then I also have a bunch of Valorant clips, which I might use for the beat drop. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to use all of these clips, but it's good to have more than less, because especially for me, I personally prefer to get all my clips, gather them all up before I start editing, so I can just edit spontaneously. Now, I have these clips here, but another big part about montages is always the song. In my 50-star Bed Wars montage, I used Never Forget You by Zara Larsson, remixed with Trap Nation. Now, the reason I chose the remix is because, one, they're just epic, and two, because they have major beat drops, which regular kind of pop songs don't. So, if you're going for that epic montage kind of style, I highly recommend finding a song which has a beat drop. And I totally recommend checking out Trap Nation. They have like 30 million subscribers or something. They're crazy. Their releases are absolutely amazing. So, just figure out what you want to use, but make sure that YouTube doesn't strike it in case you're looking for that. Otherwise, totally check out Trap Nation. Alright, so I have all these clips and this audio track, and the way I like to import my stuff is very simple. Filmora makes it quite easy. All I do is go to my folder with all the clips. I simply do Control-A. It selects every single clip and the audio and everything that I want to bring in, and simply left click, hold, drag and drop into your media section, and you should see that little plus copy. Now, this is assuming you're on Windows. I'm not really sure about Mac, so I apologize for that. However, I've already imported all my clips, as you can see. Alright, so hopefully all your clips have imported by now, and all your media. We have our media right here, and after this it's quite simple. Drag your audio down, wait for it to snap to the front of the timeline, let it snap, and then you have your audio in place. Now in my case, I don't want my entire audio, so I select the audio, use the scissors tool to split the audio into two different clips, and then I select the second clip and delete it. Now in case you don't have a delete key or your delete key isn't working, simply right click on your audio or whatever you want to delete, and then find the delete and just click that. Now I'm not going to delete this because I need it. Next up, drag your first clip that you want to put in, let it snap to wherever you want to start it. You might get this warning where it asks you for how many FPS and what your project settings are. Now in my case, I like to keep my project settings with 1920 by 1080 at 30 FPS. But if you do want 60 FPS because you want that smoothness and don't care about possible tearing or fractures, then go ahead and select that. But I'm going to keep my 30 FPS. And I don't know if you've noticed something. I'm just going to play it real quick. I don't know if you noticed, but there's like that build up, but then there's like a nicer introduction music, and I feel that's where I want to start my clip. So I'm going to leave the rest of the beginning black, like kind of like black and all dark, and just kind of have that screen stay like that. And then I want my clip to sort of fade in to start. So there's two steps to that. First of all, I have to get the clip there. That's really simple. Left click, hold, drag your clip, and it should automatically snap if you like put it near your playhead. It should like teleport to it. That's called snapping. And just let go, and it's there, and bam, it's at the beginning, or it's where you want it to start. And this works too, especially because there's like a little bit of rendering inside. However, I want my clip to fade in, so I'm actually going to go ahead and head over to the transition tab. I'm going to go back to included, and at the top you have fade right here, and simply left click, bring it down, and don't put it on the back, put it on the front, because you want it to come in the front. Now let's play this and see how it looks. We have that transition at the beginning, so we're going to see how this looks. As you can see, it takes ages to fade in. Now, before that, I just want to point out that if I want it to appear when the guitar string kind of plays, like that, or that little vocal at least comes in, then I'm going to actually have to move the clip slightly in front so that I can actually access, or the clip can actually kind of finish fading in by the time that guitar string plays. So the other thing that I need to do is cut down the time of the fade in. The way I do that is hover over the transition, look for those double arrows, left click, and drag it to my playhead. That's perfect. Alright, so now that we have that, why don't we go ahead and go to our media and find the next clip we want to add, because this clip does have an ending. If we watch this, it does have an ending. And not only that, but it has an ending where I fall off, and I don't want to showcase that. So actually, before I find another clip, I'm going to go ahead, find where I want to stop the clip, something around here, and just trim it to that spot. One big thing I need to do here is I need to actually extend the duration of the clip, and the best way to do this is to right click on the clip, find speed and duration, and actually slow down the entire clip. Now Filmora's speed and duration menu is very simple. Drag the slider down to wherever you want. In my case, I'm going to go 0.83 or something around that, 0.8. And then click OK. And notice how your clip gets longer, which is good. If you play it now, it'll be slower, but it will last longer, which is exactly what I was looking for. Alright, let's go find another clip now. In my case, I created the cinematics to work with each other, so I have this second clip which kind of spins in after the first one spins out. So I'm just going to go drag and drop that in. If you don't have a clip which matches up, that's totally fine. I would 100% just recommend putting in a clip, and then if they don't match up like at all, use a transition to cover it up. However, I have a couple of issues with this clip. The first being, if I go to the front, you can see that things aren't rendered when the clip first starts. So I'm going to want to cut to when the clip, everything is rendered, which is right here. So let's go ahead and do that. And bam. And it should automatically snap. And if we play this now, it looks great. However, there's also this like weird kind of flash of light, and that's because the moon in the top left corner appears for a couple, like 2 frames, and then it goes away. So I'm actually going to find when the moon is kind of gone, which is like right here, and just trim to that, and then play this now, and this should look great. And that's exactly what I'm going for. You can leave this clip running over this kind of change in music, but that's kind of boring. You have this change in music, and yet you're using the same clip when you have so many others. Why not just use another clip? So I'm actually going to go ahead and end the clip sometime here. So what we can do with this is actually interesting. We can create a flicker, or what I like to call flicker, between clips. So what I mean by flicker clip is switching between clips really fast, more as a fill. It's more like a picture fill. And the way I do this is pretty easy to follow. Simply drag a clip that you want to use. So I drag and drop it into this portion, and then I trim it down so that it only lasts for around 1/5 of a second or so that you can see it but not like too long. Then I'll grab another clip and drag it down as well, match it up with the audio lines so that you sort of have this change between the clips as the music changes as well. And then if you play it back, you'll see how it flickers. In order to represent this, I pull out a gameplay clip, which I'm gonna end up using anyways, and it shows the flicker portion much better and just helps to kind of define it. Now you can obviously keep this the way it is. It looks great. However, I like to normally enhance my montage by adding subtle effects which aren't obvious at the beginning but are always good to add because that touch sort of improves the flow of the montage. Now in this case, I apply a warp transition between the God bridging clip where I'm God bridging with blue wool to the first flicker clip. As you can see while I run this back, there's sort of a small zoom, which is very quick but helpful to sort of keep that flow before it switches to the final clip. And now it's getting ready for some new clips to add. It just adds to the flair of your montage, and why not add it when it's so easy to add because of Filmora's ability. So anyways, I'm actually going to go ahead and end the first part of this video here. This is sort of starting off your montage, and for a recap, we went over how cinematics run better at the beginning because of their smoothness and their cleanness. We talked about slowing down clips and adding in a fade-in transition. And we also went over trimming clips and making sure to put them together, as well as adding music synced clips and even adding small transitions to add effect to your clips. So yeah, that's about all I wanted to cover today. So I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe. Please like the video if you do like it. Also, I want to apologize for some of these like weird audio cuts and different types of audio, as well as how unnecessarily long this tutorial is in a way. I hope to fix this in my next tutorial. However, for this one, I just had to use what I had already, and some of the stuff was a little bit messed up, so I tried to fix what I could. I promise that next tutorial I'll try to make it a lot faster while still maintaining the level of detail, and also not have as many odd audio cuts.